Hello, everybody. This is Christian from Blue vs. Orange TCG with
Maddie
here.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome back, Matthew. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
What have you been up to lately?
Well, I'm busy. Married, kids, family, work. Living in Minnesota, so I'm always like snowblowing my driveway.
It's true.
That's
true.
Yeah. So just I keep busy a lot with a bunch of other projects. So
yeah, but you're getting back into it.
I am, slowly but surely. Like in the last tournament, I think I brought Sound Blaster to the table.
Mm-hmm.
Play tested them twice before entering. So
yeah, the standard young way to prepare
it really was
for a tournament.
Well, you didn't crash and burn on testing, so we're gonna try it.
Yep, that sounds about right.
So it was fun.
It was fun.
Yeah.
But we're here to talk to you very specifically, something very exciting. So ATP, the beautiful people over there working on the Alphatron Protocols custom set, gave us a card to spoil. The first time ever. This is why we started the channel.
It really was.
Cards to spoil.
Yep, when Wave 2 came about, we're like, man, if we get into this, maybe we can spoil a card.
Yeah.
Here we are later.
Yeah, like four, 6 sets later, after the game died, here we are spoiling a card.
After the game died, we're finally spoiling a card.
Absolutely. Dreams do come true eventually.
They really do.
But the card we're spoiling is Impactor for ATP-3. Matthew, do you want to break down what the character does?
Sure. So Impactor is obviously an Autobot. He's a leader, wrecker, tank, and ranged in alt mode. He's a 4/14/2. He's a 9-star drop, which is actually pretty exciting for his stats. He's got bold 1, tough 1 in alt mode. And also, at the start of your turn, you may do 1 damage to one of your wreckers. If you do 2 damage to an enemy that has at least 10 damage. That's pretty exciting.
It is.
So even though you have some constraints as to when you can basically do a free marksmanship, it could be the final fatal blow to one of your opponent's cards, which I think is really cool.
I agree. What I really like about this alt mode personally, first of all, this guy is stacked with traits.
He's how a tank should have been from the very get-go.
He should have been.
Yeah.
Exactly. He's actually a lot like Wave 4 Impactor.
Yes.
Because he's a leader, he's a tank, he's ranged, but he also gets the Wrecker trait, which the Wave 4 one didn't have.
Correct.
Which gives him those 4 traits of support that he has to work with, And what's really cool about his alt mode effect to me, I think it's an ability that's not gonna be super prevalent every game. I think because you'll see when you get to his bot mode here, why you may think it's better to not always stay in alt mode. Do you want to explain what the bot mode does?
Sure. So in bot mode, he's still a leader, wrecker, and range. Obviously, he's not a tank because he's a robot in this mode.
True.
He's a 5/14/2, so you gain the extra attack without sacrificing a defense, which I think is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But each of your damaged wreckers has bold 1 and pierce 1.
Yeah.
Hashtag goodbye jazz.
Hashtag goodbye jazz indeed. Notice that does include himself as well. So once he's damaged, he also gets the bold 1, pierce 1.
Yes.
Abilities. So this is kind of what I was talking about earlier, where I think the alt mode won't come into play all the time, because if you have a team with a lot of wreckers on it, you're probably going to want to be staying in bot mode quite a bit to constantly pump up the rest of your team with bold and pierce 1, which is really, really good. But what I really like about the alt mode is you may get it off once every 2-3 games. Just the fact that it exists, it kind of forces your opponent to respect that ability, because if they have a character that has 10 damage on it, that's 12 health left, only has 2 health left, and Patrick can just kill it at the start of a turn.
Oh yeah
Easily.
Or just flip at the beginning of your turn, do 2 damage, and now he's within range of sturdy javelin. Stuff like that. It gets him that much closer to being at the end if you don't finish him off with that ability. So
yeah, exactly. You won't see it too much with the lower static characters. I mean, this can still take out Night Racer, because Night Racer can still have 10 damage on it and still live.
Yep.
Which is super big. It doesn't obviously kill Jazz, because Jazz is already gonna be dead.
Yep.
But that's okay, because it's gonna just make your big centerpiece character that much more in danger throughout the rest of the game.
Right. That's what I think is really cool about him.
It's very, very cool. And not even talking about the fact that he is inbuilt wrecker support, which is something we never got
ever
before. Except for Sergeant Cup from Wave 5.
But that was about the only one.
That was really the only one. Everything else is just you're a wrecker just for the sake of being a wrecker. I guess Scout Armor. Do you remember what Scout Armor did?
Yeah, that was if oh man, I think I played with it once.
I'd be surprised if he did. That card was terrible.
It's like if you can put this only on like a truck, I think, or a tank or a car or something like that, right?
I can tell exactly what it was. It's +1 defense, and you can only put it on a truck, a tank, a Constructicon, or a Wrecker.
Oh, that's right.
That was it.
That was the only Wrecker card.
Yeah, that was it. That was it for Wreckers.
Secret tech.
Secret tech, blue-black Wrecker support.
Yeah.
I mean, I still don't think we'll see. I don't think this character is gonna make like Scout armor any more viable, sadly. Because like again, like just the fact that he has the bold one, he kind of builds himself more into an aggressive shell. But with the innate Pierce one, I could see like a blue-black version that focuses on like a lot of bold, hitting those black pips while still defending for quite a bit.
True.
Still being pretty viable.
I mean, he's got bold one, tough one in alt mode, so he can swing that way if he wanted to.
He can, yeah. And even the fact like there's actually like a weirdly large amount of like Pierce support here. Because obviously being a leader, you can put Matrix of Leadership on him, giving the rest of your team
Pierce 2 out of the gate.
Pierce 2 out of the gate. And if you pair this with Sergeant Cup, who is also a leader, you can stack 2 Matrix there and have like Pierce 3 going across your team. I mean, that's not bad.
That's not bad.
Like that adds up really quickly.
It can, and I think I think a lot of times it's actually taken for granted too.
It is.
You know, it's like Pierce 1, no big deal. Pierce 2, no big deal. But then once you start having it stack up, it's like, oh.
Like this is big, especially if you're like maybe in an orange black shell.
Yeah.
Which like okay, I have the bold one from Impactor. I have like Pierce 2 from Matrix and Impactor's ability. I'm gonna swing and I'm gonna hit 3 orange black pips. I mean that's like what, Pierce 5, Pierce 6 on a swing.
You know, I mean,
not even including a weapon.
Guaranteed damage.
That's guaranteed damage. I mean that's just like everything that this character does like is value that happens over the course of a game. Like nothing's like extringently like impactful in the moment. Like he just he's doing stuff that's constantly like progressing your game state throughout like the every turn that you attack. He's just like he's kind of there, always helping the team.
Yeah, a great support character.
Very good support character.
Very excited.
Also works for Perceptor.
And Whirl. Let's not forget Whirl.
Let's not forget Whirl. Actually, this card's terrible with Whirl. You know why? Because Whirl's 12 stars. You would need a 4-star to run Whirl, this Impactor, and like together.
Well, that's why you have Night Flight, right?
That's why you have Night Flight, obligatory 4-star.
Yep.
Oh gosh.
Oh man. Anyway,
so we not only have a character card to show off, we also have a battle card to support. So this is the battle card that we get to spoil as well. Harpoon Gun. Matt, do you want to go over this card too?
Sure. So I love it. It's an orange pip card. It's a +1 weapon, bold 1, Pierce 1, and it's really it's to me it's phenomenal because it's when the upgraded character attacks. If it is a wrecker, it gets a +1 until end of turn, and when the upgraded character attacks, if it is a leader, it gets +1. So let's slap it on Impactor. We're already a +3 plus a bold 1, Pierce 1. I mean, essentially in a straight orange deck, that is a grenade launcher that does not come off.
It is. It's a grenade launcher that sticks, and the best part about this is the fact that because those 2 bonus like +1s for Wrecker and Leader happen when they attack, it gets around stab arms a little bit.
Yeah.
Like you still get +2 against stab arms.
I mean it's not a total loss to stab arms. Yeah,
and this card is incredibly flexible too because like you don't have to play this in a straight Wreckers deck. I mean, it's obviously best in a straight Wreckers deck, right? Because you get the 2 extra bonuses. But any like thing that's like a leader is still gonna have like +2 bold 1 Pierce 1, which is nothing to like ignore.
It really isn't.
No, not at all. It's still like I would run this over like Erratic Lightning in certain builds.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just because again it's a weapon that's 6 but doesn't harm you with that -1 defense.
Right.
It's a really unique card. It's a card we haven't like seen too much of before. It's again kind of like one of those like character specific cards, kind of like Gamma, like the LV Gamma launches for Shockwave or Ion Blast for Optimus Prime. This is a very thematically like presented card that fits like very specific characters, which is something that I thought the game lacked in the original like Wizard of the Coast sets. This card just has like a ton of value that it can present, not just like on Impactor. You can put this on like an orange Perceptor deck because Perceptor is a wrecker, and you're gonna still have like the +2 bold 1 Pierce 1. This is going to go great in any like orange black deck because you're going to have that Pierce 1, you're going to have that bold 1. You're already there in that like shell that you want to be shooting for.
Oh yeah, you know.
Yeah, this card's like low key kind of insane. honestly.
It really is. I think it'll be, personally, I think people might sleep on it until someone brings it to the table and does really well, and I think it's going to pick up really quick.
I agree.
Not saying that could happen, but that would be just a left field assumption.
I kind of agree. I think like the fact that even just like these two cards, Impactor and Harpoon Gun, kind of work in like a team slot that we're not like as meta players, we aren't super comfortable working with. Like we hardly use 9-drops in like lineups. Like when was the last time you saw like a deck top 8 with a 9-drop in its list, other than Wheeljack? Like that's really it.
That is true.
That's
I guess like Thrust was the 9-drop for a while, but that was
That's
true.
before,
before ATP. Wave 4, some of Wave 5.
A little bit of Wave 5, a lot of Wave 4.
A lot of Wave 4. I mean, that was the only 9-drop, really.
It really was, unfortunately, because I hate that card. But that's a discussion for another tale.
Yep.
But yeah, I agree. I think just like in the competitive scene, I think these two cards are going to prevent such unique deck building options. Like I can't wait for someone to come actually to the table with, I built a Wreckers deck, and there's going to be like enough different Wreckers that it could be Impactor, Sergeant Cup, and but like a 5 to 7-drop or whatever.
Yep.
Or I mean, someone could even like throw like some caution to when this could go like in an Orange Perceptor list. This could be like I could see this even in like Impactor Topspin, because Topspin is a wrecker.
That is true.
Yeah, and there's one other wrecker in Wave 5. I don't remember who it was.
There was Topspin and then Twin Twist.
Twin Twist, that's right. I don't think this is gonna make Twin Twist like competitively viable per se, but I think it's just gonna present like a unique option for players to at least try.
Right. I mean, it's just support to try the character out versus instead of like
like what am I gonna do with this guy? It's like, okay, I'm gonna build a Wreckers deck with Twin Twist. Twin Twist is a tank. I can build a Wreckers tank list.
Yep.
That's just like some of the idea of like the scope of like creativity that I think these two cards are going to present. I really, really, really like them though.
I do too. And I do want to add that this is in fact an Autobot card.
It is.
So,
it is an Autobot card.
And I'm actually really excited because one of the cards that has never ever really seen play that I've always liked, just for how it works, is Electro-Optical Visor. Which is, if you don't recall what that is, it's the armor blue pip with Soundwave on it, where when you put this on a Decepticon, your opponent reveals their hand, chooses an Autobot card from it, and scraps that card. So per se, like let's say if Wreckers starts to pick up some momentum and it becomes popular, I could see the Electro-Optical Visor card as being something that people might start playing.
Yeah.
Not saying it will, but to me it's exciting that, hey, this card could bring out another card that never sees play onto the field.
What that you bring up a good point with like the fact that like what Electro-Optical Visor like does is inherently people are gonna be like, why not just run like Espionage? I think you can. Like, like in the right like build, I could potentially see Visor like at least coming in as a one-of, like as an example, like Shockwave. If Shockwave becomes like starting to pick up steam again against like you said, if Wreckers starts to become really big, or like decks that run like Heroic Resolve maybe, you could even like, I'm going to play this onto Shockwave. I'm going to look at your hand. If there's an Autobot card, I'm going to rip a card from it.
Right.
I'm going to flip, rip another card.
Right.
I could Espionage and rip another card. Now that you see the hand, right?
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Well, another character that can run this is actually Darkmount. Like, you could hunker down into a Visor to try to get rid of a Harpoon Gun or any Autobot card, and then heal one. Yeah. It's kind of interesting. I could see Harpoon Gun actually like bringing Visor back to the table a little bit. At least a card for very specific decks to kind of like notice, because like once someone like lays a Harpoon Gun on the table playing Wreckers, it's like it kind of puts them on a clock. Like, I have to deal with this.
You do. It's like the target.
It becomes a target. Absolutely. Well, is there anything else you wanted to say about Harpoon Gun, Matthew? I think I really pulled out my thoughts about it. I think it's a phenomenal card. I'm
super excited for it. I do have a Wreckers deck that I am going to try out shortly. Yep. So I'm excited to see how well that works. I love the art.
The art is amazing.
It's just phenomenal.
I'm not sure where in the comics this art is from. I'm guessing somewhere from like Last Stand of the Wreckers. I haven't read the comics, so I wouldn't know, but I just have heard that name before quite a few times. But that is like some of the sickest art I've ever seen for any card in the game, not just a weapon. So I'm excited to see that like in my hand when I draw into it.
Oh,
'Cause
absolutely.
I'll definitely be playing Wreckers.
Yep, same here.
All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you guys have any questions for me or Matt about this card or anything else like in the future, any video ideas that you have that you want to see us work on in the future, please drop them in the comments below. We're really excited about ATP-3, aren't we, Matt?
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Yeah.
Very, very excited.
Very excited. Yeah, so definitely expect more content from us in the future. And as always, guys, have a great day. See ya.